As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind...
Thank you very much for joining me today. This is video 14, Views of the Trustee. On the first letter you can see here, it's from my family's lawyers going to my father on the 12th of October 1992. I'll read you some of the letter here. It says, I am waiting to hear from him, as you know, on a number of matters, but my view is very strongly that we should not agree to anything he suggests until he is willing to deal with the other matters that we have raised with him. It is not reasonable for the trustee to expect you to give everything on one hand but not for him to give nothing on the other hand. So this is just an introduction showing basically the trustee's attitude. Take information from my family and go and collect the assets and keep them. On the next page you can see again it's Lewis and Dick, my family's lawyers, writing to advocates on that offshore island. We're asking why it's taking so long to get all of the beneficiaries to agree to pay the Inland Revenue the tax bill of many millions. As you can see here on the third paragraph, it says on the 24th of November 1994, you told us that one of the beneficiaries would not agree to the order being made and that the petition has been adjourned again until the 11th of January 1995. You declined to identify the beneficiary, but we must assume it must be someone instructed from the other certain lawyers. So what this individual does, he obtains a financial advantage by delaying paying the tax bill, and as you can see there, one of the beneficiaries didn't agree, which I know is lies. We've got many letters from the other lawyers saying that we all agreed. So on the next page here you can see these are actually lawyers who represent the my grandfather's, the trust service provider in the other offshore island who represents my grandfather's estate. They're getting very, very frustrated with the trustee in the other offshore island. As you can see on the paragraph, the second paragraph, it says, please rest assured that my client trust company are probably as frustrated as your client and therefore have today written to all other parties to see whether this matter can be resolved. Now, on a later video, I'll explain that these lawyers who represent the trust service provider on the other island are actually in cahoots, and they just write these letters to get fee notes and pretend that they're actually doing something on the case. Would it shock everyone that via the offshore data leaks I can prove that they've all been in cahoots and built one of the shopping centres I've referred to earlier? So on the next page here again you can just see it's another delay. It's adjourned again, the court case in one of the offshore islands to pay the tax man. Again, on the next page here, it's Lewis and Dick, the family's lawyer, writing to my father, and I'll read you the second paragraph. It says, so far as to the estate of your mother is concerned, Peter undoubtedly blames the trustee more than anyone else for the delay. That will not totally surprise you. Then on the second paragraph, it says, Peter told me at the telephone that your two brothers have long since approved the settlement with the Inland Revenue we concluded in March 1994, has carefully avoided ever answering my questions at this point, and he's referring to the trustee there. So on the next page here again you can see it's a letter from our family's lawyer writing to my family now in 1997 on the 27th of August, saying they're still totally baffled by the continuing delay in the Emerald Trust. He told me many months ago that he expected to come back very shortly, but no reason whatever have been given for this continuing delay. So it's just more delays, and remember at this stage the shopping centre is well under construction, so they plan to obviously delay the family longer. On the next page now you can see this is the lawyers in the other offshore island in relation to my grandfather's estate. they're writing to us again saying that they're frustrated with the lack of progress in resolving this matter. And basically it's all just tricks. They're just wasting time and making out something's going to happen. So on the next page here you will see this is a letter from Lewis and Dick going over to my father, and again he's just saying, you know, we've called many times, and he told me at the telephone some 5 weeks ago that he would let me have his comments shortly, and this is why I'm chasing him yesterday. So this man's still delaying and delaying, and now this is a letter from Lewis and Dick to my father, I believe, and in each case he has been given promises for action but nothing happens. So my father would ring up the law firm in the offshore island, and my mother would, and there'd be promises made but there was never any action on the trust. So as you can see there, it's just another example of them fobbing you off, and that was in 1998. So over to the last example. It goes to the 5th of October 1999. It's a letter from our lawyers going to my father, stating that the individuals in the other offshore island have changed the name of their trust service company, and there's a new director in charge. And you can see there he says he is absolutely fed up with the delay by the trustee. So there's just a small example. I could honestly do 100 videos on this. We've got family records going back to 1931 with my granddad's business dealings. Thanks for listening. All the best. Bye bye.